Cabin 6's wrong arrival at dusk. The rental was called Cabin 6, tucked in a forgotten forest deep in northern Oregon. Jason and his younger sister Megan had booked it for a quiet weekend, no internet, no neighbors, just trees and stillness. After their mother passed in the spring, they hadn't spoken much. Megan suggested the getaway, hoping to reconnect. They arrived at dusk, with the horizon bleeding gold behind crooked pine trees. Gravel crunched under their tires as Jason pulled into the dirt clearing. The cabin looked weathered but solid timber walls, a mossy roof, dusty windows. "This place looks tired," Jason muttered. "I like it," Megan said. "It feels honest." They stepped inside. The air was cold and dry, like the cabin had been holding its breath for years. Dust curled in beams of fading light. The living room had a stone fireplace, worn chairs, and an old radio with a cracked dial. A faint smell hung in the air-old wood and something metallic. The caretaker, a woman named Elaine, had left the key under a rock. No cell service, no Wi-Fi. Jason tried sending a text. "Nothing," he said, pocketing his phone. Totally off-grid. That night, they ate canned soup and played cards by lantern light. Outside, wind skimmed the roof like fingernails. Inside, the fire popped softly. Around 11:42 p.m., Megan paused mid-hand. "Did you hear that?" Jason lowered his cards. "Hear what?" A knock, like soft. Not on the door, on the wall. He listened. Silence. "Maybe the wind," he offered, though his voice wavered slightly. They went to bed in separate rooms. Jason's window faced the woods. Just before drifting off, he saw a faint glow, maybe candlelight, coming from Cabin 5 down the trail. But Elaine had told them all the other cabins were empty this weekend. The whisper trailed Jason awoke at 3:19 a.m., heart racing. The room was freezing. His phone plugged in was dead. The glow he'd dreamed about it, or had he then tap, tap, tap from the front porch, slow, deliberate. Jason crept to the living room. Megan's door was cracked. She was asleep, hand curled under her cheek. He opened the front door. Outside, the porch groaned under his weight. The trail to Cabin 5 was dim under moonlight. No glow now, just trees. Then he noticed something strange. A line of flat stones, stacked in threes, leading from the trailhead all the way to Cabin 5's front step. He called out, "Hello?" No answer. "The morning fog." "Over tea," Jason told Megan. "Stacked stones mean something," she said. "They used to guide spirits. In folklore, the dead would knock. They knock, they want in." Jason laughed nervously. "You've been listening to too many ghost podcasts." But Megan looked serious. "They say some spirits forget they're dead." That evening, they followed the trail to Cabin 5. Its shutters were closed, paint peeling. A laminated sign hung askew. "Unused, do not enter." Jason reached for the knob anyway, turned. Inside Cabin 5, the door creaked open into stale darkness. Megan entered first, flashlight raised. "It smells like pennies." The layout was the same as theirs, but neglected. Water-stained walls, furniture under dusty sheets, cobwebs everywhere. Jason passed a warped mirror. For a moment, his reflection didn't match his movement. It lagged behind. He stepped back. "Nothing." "Jason," Megan called from the bedroom. He joined her. On the floor, a perfect circle of white stones surrounding a dark-stained patch of wood. The stain looked soaked in. In the corner, a small, rotting child's chair. Jason crouched, scratched into the wood. Anna below it carved messily. "Stay quiet." A slow thump came from inside the back wall. They backed out. Megan reached for the door, then froze. On the porch, someone had placed another stack of 3 stones. Hadn't been there before. They hadn't heard footsteps. They ran back to Cabin 6 and locked the door behind them. "I want to leave tomorrow," Megan whispered. Jason nodded. Agreed. But that night, just after 2:30 a.m., Jason woke to a scratching sound, not outside but beneath the floor. Underneath, the scratching was soft, rhythmic like fingernails on wood. Jason pulled back the rug and pressed his ear to the floor. It stopped. Then a whisper. "Jason." He jumped back. The voice was beneath the cabin. Child's voice. Calm. Sad. He woke Megan. They grabbed boots, a flashlight, and crept outside. The crawl space was wide enough to enter. Jason ducked in first. Beneath the cabin, dirt floor, rotting beams, and scratched words carved into the foundation. Please listen. We're not gone. Cabin 6 is wrong. Megan stared. This wasn't here yesterday, and the flashlight flickered, died, in total darkness. Something skittered, bare feet on earth, then a soft high giggle. They scrambled out, breathless. Inside, Jason's phone was still dead. Megan's turned on, but the time froze at 2:47 a.m. It wouldn't change. Jason whispered, "That's when I woke up." Megan looked at him. "What if we didn't wake up? What if we're still in it?" Before he could respond, every light in cabin 6 flicked on, and the dead radio crackled to life with a child's voice. "Anna wants to come in." Anna's voice, the voice was calm. Flat, "Let her in." Jason yanked the plug. The radio stayed on. Megan hurled it at the fireplace. It shattered. The voice continued from the hallway. Jason grabbed the fire poker. Followed the sound. At the end of the hall, Jason's door, once closed, was ajar. Inside, small, wet footprints led from the window to the closet. He flung the door open. Nothing, except behind the coats was a cloth curtain. He pulled it aside. A hidden stairwell descending. "That's not on the floor plan," Megan whispered. "Lane didn't mention it," Jason muttered. "Why hide it?" "'Cause someone doesn't want it found." They descended slowly. At the bottom, a stone-walled room. Shelves of dusty jars. In the center, a crib. Inside, a porcelain doll, cracked, smiling, its chest red. Anna, then bang. The cabin door above slammed shut. Then the basement door. They were locked in. The basement keeps them. Jason pounded the basement door. "No knob, just wood," the doll whispered. "Don't leave me here." Frost crept along the stone. Jason found a loose brick in the far wall. Behind it, a cavity filled with bones. Tiny human, Megan gagged. "Their children." Words echoed in the walls. "You open the stair. Now she's coming." Footsteps above. Creak, creak. Then a knock. 3 times Jason whispered, "Don't answer." Megan trembled. "It's too late. She's already inside." The door creaked open. No one stood there. Just wind. They bolted upstairs. But cabin 6 had changed. Walls decayed. Windows gone. Black mold everywhere. In the center stood a small girl, dripping wet. "Let her go home." "I want to go home," she said. Megan whispered, "Anna." The girl didn't answer. She looked to the open stairwell. Jason stepped forward. "What do you want?" "You opened the way. Now it must close." The house moaned. From below, whispers rose. Many voices. "We have to go back," Jason said. Megan nodded. "To close it?" Anna. "No. To bury it." They returned to the basement. The doll was gone. Jason smashed open the rest of the cavity. Inside, bones, trinkets, cloth, all small. Anna stood at the top of the stairs. She made us stay quiet. "Forever?" Jason poured lamp oil. Megan struck a match. The flames roared. The walls seemed to scream not in pain, but in release. Anna stepped into the fire. "Thank you," and vanished. Ashes and echoes they left at dawn, silent, shaken. Midway down the road, Elaine was waiting. "You stayed in cabin 6? She asked, confused. Jason nodded. "Why?" Elaine's face went pale. "It's not possible. Cabin 6 burned down in 1973. We never rebuilt it." Megan showed her a photo on her phone. The cabin, the porch, the trail to cabin 5. Elaine stepped back. "That's not possible." Jason turned. Where cabin 6 had stood only ash and moss. No structure, no foundation, just a long-dead clearing. Jason's mouth went dry, but Megan gasped. Her phone screen, once showing the cabin, now displayed only a black field of trees. The image had changed, and then from the forest behind them they heard it. A soft giggle, and 3 faint knocks.